Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be teaching you how to render conditionally from props in a React component which has a child as well as a parent component. So here in this tutorial you'll be using props to conditionally render code to the value of a given props that is to be used to automatically make decisions about what is it to be rendered. So here in this example, the child component is to be set to make rendering decisions based on props. The code editor shows two components. So that is the given parent component, which is a game of chance, and the given child component, which is called results. And here these components are created to create a game where the user will click a button to check if they can win or lose, if they're winning or losing. And for this you need a simple expression value that will expression method that will calculate and randomly return a different value every time it is run. So in order to get this expression, simple expression, what you need is you'll be using the math.random method for this calculation, in order to get this random value back. So this random method, what it does is it will be returning a value between 0, which is included, and 1, which is excluded each time it is called. So for 50-50 odds, you'll be using math.random, which is greater than equal to 0.5 in your expression. And this will make sure that you will return 50% true, 50% of the time it will be true, and 50% of the remaining will be false. So this is the idea. So what we are going to do is we visit this class results, which is the child component, and we have to make some changes in the h1 element. So what we are doing here, we will be basically the props, as you know, will be passed from the parent to the child. And if it is passed from the parent to the child, what do you write in the child, which is the class result, the results component? This dot props dot 50-50, because 50-50 is originating from the parent component passing to the child results. So the results in this one you will be writing in the child this dot props dot 50-50. But in this case you're also supposed to include a ternary expression. So here the ternary expression, how is it written? If you remember, we've already learned question mark returns a true statement and the colon returns the false output. So the output for true is you win, output for false for the 50-50 prop is this is you lose. So this is how you mention the props in the child component. So now you can see 50 and the turn object, but nothing else is done yet. So your coding is not yet over. So now you go to your the parent, which is the game of chance. So this you can see that the state of the counter is initialized to a value of 1, and then you have to make sure that every time the user is clicking the button, the play button, it has to be updated. The value has to go from the counter value has to be updated. Here you have to make some changes in the counter value in the return. Okay, so what it should be, it will be this dot state dot counter, because this dot state dot counter initial value is already mentioned in the parent. So this dot state dot counter plus 1, right? Then only it will update the counter, the number of turns every time the user is clicking the play button. So now you have revised the code in the return method. Okay, in the return of the parent, which is game of chance, after the handle click, remember that. Okay, the handle click already, rest of the code done for you. The handle click, just this you have to update. Then you come down to the render method. Okay, in the render, the const expression is mentioned as null, so you have to replace the null with the actual code. So what is happening here? Here is the place where you need to mention your math.random method. So the count expression, which is already given here for you, this one you need to actually update it with the math.random method. So math.random, again you have to mention the ternary expression here. So math.random, if it is more than or equal to 0.5, as I've already mentioned, statistically to return 50% true and 50% false answers, you do this ternary expression here in the random math.random method. So 0.5% if the statement is true and greater than equal to 0.5% if true, the outcome will be true, and if it is less than equal to 0.5, then false. That means 50% answer will be true, 50% answers will be false, but this will be very random. So that's why we are doing a random method here to update this variable expression here. Yeah. So this you are done here. Then you go down further. You can see the button on click for the play button for the play again function here. The button function is to play. That means when the user clicks on the play button, you can see the updated values and the answers, the random answers, whether you are winning or losing. Okay. Now here you are supposed to change the code below this line in the return. Okay, so here you're supposed to feed or you're supposed to input the child component by the name of results. It was not there, but you're inputting the component here. Now, aside that, inside this results component, which is a child of game of chance, you're also supposed to input the props, which is a 50-50 props, and then its value. So the 50-50 props value will be what? The expression, okay? Because in the const expression, in the variable expression, you've already mentioned the math.random method, which will provide you the random answers. So you just feed in the expression within the curly braces, so that will do the job of giving the output of the props with the math.random method working there. So that's how you do it. So feed the value of expression in the 50-50 props. Yeah, as simple as that, right? Okay, now automatically this value 50-50 will be passed in. Whatever calculation you've done here will be passed into the child component by doing the this.props.50-50 and the ternary expression within the child component results. Because results you just mention inside the parent, and then you mention this update the value in the results. So now you see what's happening. I hope you get the connection, how it is done. So you have to remember to input the results component with the working value of the props inside it within the parent, and then come here and relate to it by mentioning the props, this.props.50-50, which is the props that was originating from the parent game of chance. Then only it will be correlated and passed. This props 50-50 will be passed from the game of chance from the parent game of chance to the results. This is how you do it. It's always like this. Remember that. Let me review the code and see what is the outcome on the screen. Some spell check, I suppose. That's why it's not showing the exact the click button with the updated answers, whether you win or you lose. Let me see what spell check you need to do. Okay, semicolon was not there, but that shouldn't make much of a difference. Let's go further below. I thought I saw some spelling mistake here. So be very careful, because even one spelling mistake will make a difference in the outcome or the output on the screen. Okay. So as you can see, this is the way we can make the expression to use to make a random decision in the code, and this is how the expression value is implemented in the code, as we did exactly like this. Okay. Now you can see the counter is already updated, and that is working. So the user knows how many times they have played, and also the user gets to know that the component is actually updated in cases that they win or lose. Like if they win twice in a row, or if they lose twice in a row, they will even get to know that. That's the idea of doing that. And so this is how the 50-50 props that is being passed in from the game of chance to the child. which is the results. Yeah, so now you are getting it. So this it has been able to do it. The game of chance is returning the single button element, and when you clicking the play again, it's showing you win or you lose, and the different turns. You see, turn 7, turn 8, it's getting updated. So that means you were able to get it right, and you could actually update the turn values. Yeah, because that is very important. So each time the button is clicked, the H1 element is returning the random value whether you win or you lose. Yeah, and the counter is also getting updated by giving the different values of n, that is the turn values. So all the conditions have been fulfilled, and this is how you do the challenge, this challenge. So because once you click the review screen, you would be able to see whether you've done it right or not by fulfilling all the conditions in the given task. Yeah, so click the run button, and there you go, you passed. Don't forget